those big noon games. And now he's had some highlight catches last year with the Cowboys, and he's continuing to impress at training camp this year. On last night's episode of Hard Knocks, everyone on the Dallas sideline seemed to be impressed by what they see. Take a listen.
That's an easy guy to throw a go ball to.
There it is! Yes, sir!
See, he just walks underneath him.
It does surprise me a little bit just because, like, I go in with the mindset that it's supposed to happen.
Oh, my God,
I mean, CeeDee continues to make play after play, catch after catch, that a jaw-dropping guy. Looks like another 88.
88 is real legacy here.
Whew. Making it look easy. And I know, Skip, you've been big on CeeDee's future as a star on the Cowboys and in the NFL. So, Shannon, is this the year that Lamb replaces Amari Cooper as the Cowboys' #1 receiver?
No, I don't know what Tavon Diggs is thinking. A guy does that much pausing, freezing, rushing. Shut that down. Do they try that on Darrelle Revis? Try that on Ram.
Revis is retired.
Yeah, I'm saying. Skip, look. It's easy for CeeDee Lamb, and I'm not saying CeeDee's not a good receiver. He's a very good receiver, very talented. But it's easy to do this with Amari out. And he's stepping up, showing that if Amari does miss some time during the season, guys, you can count on me. And that's what you like to see, Skip. You like to see the progression between from his freshman season, which is his rookie year, to his sophomore season. That takes that next step. But it's going to be interesting to see, once Amari is back up to full speed, how this thing shakes out. Skip, last year the targets, Amari had 130, CeeDee Lamb had 111, Michael Gallup had 105. It's hard for me to see a scenario. Amari Cooper makes $20 million a year, and then he's your #2 receiver. I believe we're still a year away from CeeDee really, really challenging Amari for that #1 receiver slot. Now, that's not to say that he's not going to put his best foot forward, and Amari's going to have to put his best foot forward to hold him off, because this kid is coming. He's coming. He believes that, and he takes pride, he was talking about that 88 and the people that's worn that 88, from Drew Pearson to Michael Irvin to Dez Bryant, and he says, I want all that responsibility that comes along with that and more. So for me, I love what I'm seeing. I love his confidence. But Amari, Skip, Amari he went over 1,100 yards. And like you said, he just needs to put some games together back to back. For whatever reason, down the stretch, he starts tapering off really bad at the tail end of the season, Skip. Like, he almost disappears. That can't happen this year.
Cannot.
And so I'm going to say he's another year away before he actually takes the mantle and says, you know what, Amari? It's your boy team now.
Got it. So I'm going to remind you that early in CeeDee Lamb's final year at the University of Oklahoma, in which he was catching passes from Kyler Murray as really the only #1.
Stop doing that.
No, seriously, it was CeeDee or bust that year. You made the mistake of uttering at the end of a show, Jerry Jeudy, the best receiver in college football, and I immediately corrected you. We were running out of time for the show. I said, no, CeeDee Lamb is the best receiver in college football.
You're going to see this year.
And he led the nation in yards per reception that year at the University of Oklahoma. So then we get to draft night. And in a shock of shocks, CeeDee Lamb falls into our laps all the way down at number 17. And I told you going in, he is the best receiver in this draft. You said it was Jerry Jeudy. But the Raiders, then the Las Vegas Raiders, shocked me because they took Ruggs all the way up at number 12. Okay, so it goes Ruggs 12, then your Denver Broncos took Jeudy at 15, and all of a sudden I'm looking up saying, are you kidding me? CeeDee Lamb could be a Dallas Cowboy. I said, you got to do it, Jerry. Do it, Jerry. Do it. And he did it.
He did it.
Didn't need him, but he's just too good to pass up because he's going to change your life at some point. And the next day on the show, I predicted he would sooner than later, be the #1 receiver above Amari and Michael Gallup, both very accomplished, very good receivers in and of themselves.
Right.
He will be the #1 receiver. He had a little bit of a rocky rookie year because he lost Dak in game number 5, and then it was Andy Dalton for a little while, and then it was BAD for a little while, and then it was Garrett Gilbert, and then it was back to Andy Dalton. It was kind of a mess.
Right.
But Amari lost me a little bit down the stretch of 2019 because starting with that game at Jets, that game you're up in Denver rooting your guts out, you lost your voice. You lost your voice. You were screaming so hard for the Jets to upset the Cowboys. While you're in Denver, you lost your voice for the show the next day, right?
Yeah.
And that was the first game in which Amari caught one ball early and rolled out of bounds and said, I don't think I can go. I'm out. Are you kidding me? Then he took himself out of the game at New England. Gilmore. I'm just saying, but I mean, he just said, no mas, right?
Yeah.
He said, I can't do this anymore. I got to stand over here and watch.
Right.
And then Jason Garrett pulled him from the game at Philadelphia. The money pushed to the table in the middle of the table
and
game.
put the tight end
All
in the
or
run
nothing.
routes.
He did. He put the tight end. He put Tavon Austin in. Remember that?
Tavon ran to go. And your guy overthrew Tavon.
He missed him. He did. He missed him. And Dak's
Just checking,
betting on himself.
Just making sure you are.
I'll never forget those plays. And I'll never forget that Amari Cooper got benched in the fourth quarter of the all-or-nothing game at Philadelphia for the division title.
Yep.
You got benched. Well, it's just hard for me to buy back in. And he's coming off ankle surgery, and they say he's going to be 100%. Listen, this young man is explosive. And do we have the Jerry Jones talking to Michael Irvin? I don't think I'm not sure we had that. But the point is, Jerry's just raving about him, saying, basically, we've got to get the ball in his hands.
Right.
He's put on some muscle weight. He's playing stronger. He's playing faster. And then we get to the money line of Hard Knocks, like last night for me, was the Dak line that we just heard. You could hear it under the video. Dak is watching him catch another go ball, and Dak says, that's an easy guy to throw a go ball to. See, he just walks underneath them. It doesn't even look like he's running fast, but he's moving, and he just easily just drifts under go balls.
I mean, get out your back pedal. Come on, Tavon. I mean, what you doing, bro?
All right.
Skip, he got to get out his back pedal. At some point in time, you got to open up and run.
And then thanks to some practice angle footage, we got to see, as USA Today put it, some new jaw-dropping angles of some of those catches he's making, albeit
Well, that wasn't a touchdown. The one-handed catch wasn't a touchdown.
Okay, but was it a one-handed catch?
Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't count, though.
Was it a really good catch? Did he make one of the catches of the year, remember, at Justin Jefferson? Obviously, Jefferson went later in the draft, but remember the CeeDee catch up there
right
when they
now,
upset
both of the guys, Judy and CeeDee Lamb, got to catch up to Justin Jefferson.
Okay, I got that. And by the way, Justin Jefferson went all the way down to 22 because Rager went to the Eagles, and I immediately on Twitter said, that's a bad idea.
He played out of his mind. I'm watching footage of him in the Eagles camp.
Well, I think he's not playing.
No, he's playing in practice, Skip. He's been lighting up the Patriots.
Okay, so he went 21, Jefferson went 22, and then Ayuk went to San Francisco at 25, who's a very good player.
Yes.
I give you that.
Yes.
CeeDee will end up being the best of this bunch, and it's a good bunch. And I'm not dismissing Ruggs or Judy because they've had their moments, and I'm sure Judy will continue to have. It would help him to have Aaron Rodgers, but that's not going to happen.
It won't happen this year, but it's going to happen.
You think it's going to happen at some point?
Eventually.
CeeDee Lamb is about to happen right in your face.
So he's going to take over the #1 slot this year, not next year, this year.
And by the way, speaking of slot, you realize they have now moved him officially out of the slot where he had to pay his rookie dues. Right. There's nothing wrong with the slot, but
I believe
he is a wide receiver.
Skip, I believe he'll be back in the slot once Amari comes back because, Amari player. But they rotate. You move him around, Skip. You try to find the weak link. If I got a weak link and you're in the slot, I'm going to put one of my best receivers on him and let's go to work.
And there's one other thing that CeeDee Lamb can do that was not exploited last year. He can return punts. I don't know if they're going to risk it. I don't know. But he can do it. Right. Maybe on occasion, maybe if you need a spark.
Right.
Maybe if you need some voltage.
Because you remember that Deshaun Jackson used to do that. But Tyreek Hill used to do that. But he's too valuable as a receiver, Skip, to have him get nicked on a punt return.
Well, I got it. But I think occasionally you're going to see
if you need a spark. You know what, Skip? We got him backed up. We down 3 points.
Yeah.
I'll put him back at the 50-yard line.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would do that in a situation like that. But it's going to be a rare occasion. It's going to be a very special moment that requires that.
Okay. CeeDee Lamb, sophomore star. Here we go.
So what's Amari going to do? What's Amari going to be?
He's going to be a number 2. He'll be a good number 2.
You going to pay a guy $20 million to be number 2?
On the road, he can take the game. He can give us the home games. I think we have more road games this year
Make it
than
home.
home.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, because you played 17, so
They've got one more.
Yeah, I think the NFC has one more road game this year.
Oh, good point. Guys, is LaMelo Ball poised for a huge second year, or did he just make things harder on himself? We'll explain it next.
Now